It's Lyon Property Group now instead of Lyon Property Management. So what was the reasoning for that?
So honestly, I realized that Lyon Property Management was pigeonholing us into just management, which isn't awful because that's our core business.
Right.
But what led to more success for our company was also integrating the acquisition and disposition side. Because sometimes folks want to come in and they want us to take care of the asset, and then after a couple of years, they may want to sell it.
Yep.
So that's where we have our retail sales team. We have 7 agents that can help with acquiring more property and then also disposing of property and selling property. So Lyon Property Group kind of cast that net a little bit broader rather than just pigeonholing into property management.
So where does Lyon originate from? What's the... Because it's not like Lyon, like Lion, it's Lyon. Is that like a... I can only think of a street in Pawtucket.
Yes. Actually, I'm selling a property today on Lyon Street,
Wow.
which is ironic.
That's
So
all
we're
I
getting
was
off
like.
like
I've never seen it spelt that way, only on that street. So does that have something to do with maybe your upbringing or?
So I wish I had some cool story. I guess this is kind of a cool story. My dad, union carpenter, like grew up super blue collar.
Same.
My mom, she would go to night classes in order to become a nurse. And then when I graduated high school, she had her last 2 years of clinicals. So I had a single parent household essentially growing up. My mom would go to work. My dad's 7 to 3, my mom 3 to 11. It would either be class or going to the hospital.
Yeah.
But my dad was very much go to school, read a book, don't swing a hammer like me.
Yep.
So got my degree, bought my first 4-unit in Pawtucket on Central Ave that I still own today. And actually one of the whiteboards upstairs I had in my living room. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. And I hated my corporate job. Like I worked for Fidelity. I made a fair amount of money. I hated it, dude, because you're locked in a cage from 7 to 6 every day.
Yeah.
And I remember I would go to the gym at lunchtime, and they're like, the gym's for before or after work. And I'm like, takes me an hour round trip. I'm not doing brain surgery. I'm literally putting numbers in a spreadsheet.
Right.
This isn't rocket science. It's not going to hurt anybody for me to go to the gym. Honestly, you get more out of me if I go to the gym during the middle of the day.
Correct.
So did that. As I was working there was a Saturday morning. I woke up, and I was trying to figure out what my next step was in real estate because I didn't hit the birth lottery. Like my parents we always had what we needed, but not much more.
Same.
Right? Hand to mouth. And at that point, like I'm still figuring out how to run and operate a multifamily. My dad told me when I bought it, he said, that's the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life.
Wow. Come on, Dad.
So
Why would he say that?
But you know what? I'm driven by madness, right?
Okay.
So Patrick Bet-David, have you read his book, Your Next Five Moves?
I've never read his book. I went to his conference last year.
How was that?
It was, I felt like cattle.
Isn't that awful when you go somewhere and it's just like a whole rah-rah session? You're like, I just paid a couple grand for a ticket. And
It lost its mystique by going to it. So I went with Albert and Emilio, and I was just kind of like, it was nice to go to West Palm.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And the bars and the nightlife was very fun.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was very rah-rah and just a lot of bark, no bite kind of thing.
That's it.
But I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't read the book.
No, you're good. So he has a Punnett square in the back, and there's 4 things that people could be driven by. So one of them is madness. Like if you tell me I can't or I won't, it's something I want to do, like I'm going to go out and prove you wrong. I'll just be hell-bent to prove you wrong. So my dad literally told me this is the biggest mistake you've ever made. And I'm thinking about this. I'm like, well, like I make good money at my corporate job, but I don't like it. I like this real estate thing. What can I do next? So I literally like woke up from a dead sleep one morning, and I put 3 companies on the whiteboard that I was going to launch. One of them was Jimmy Buys Homes. So it was wholesaling, which I just quit too soon. This was in 2014. And then second company was Sterling Bridge Capital, which was going to be my holding company. Mm-hmm. And the last one was Lyon Property Management. Why I spelled it with a Y, I have no fucking idea, to be completely honest.
There's no story.
I went and did more research. And so the last name Murray is actually Scottish. People think it's Irish. And the Murray clan is one of the original Highlander clans, like the Scottish Highlands. So like the most epic warriors. So my uncle traced our heritage back to the Highlands where we fought alongside William Wallace. Crazy side story. But some of the Highlander clans actually created the original court in Scotland called the Lyon Court. And it was spelled Lyon. So Lyon is actually the Scottish spelling. I didn't really know. It just kind of came to me.
Interesting.
But yeah, no crazy story. It was I woke up on a Saturday morning. I'm like, what am I going to try to do? I put it on the whiteboard, and I literally like left it on the whiteboard for months.
Wow.
And I started, Lyon was the last one. I started wholesaling. I didn't know how to sell shit, dude.
Gotcha.
To be completely honest.
Gotcha.
I'm an introvert by nature. Like, I don't like to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, if I could just read a book and drink good coffee all day, I'm good.
Yeah.
Although I've got an energy drink next to my cup today.
Yeah.
But, so I had to learn the skill of selling. And that's why I thought I failed at the wholesaling company originally, even though 6 months in, I had 3 off-market deals. But I thought that was failing. It's kind of crazy.
I'm sure that now, if you rewinded 10 years, you would critique the hell out of yourself.
Oh my God, dude.
But look at where you are.
I appreciate that.
Right?
I appreciate
it
that.
worked.
But that's why we succeed as entrepreneurs, where we just keep failing forward. I know that sounds so cliche.
It's true, though.
But when people are like, well, how did you do that? Do you know Dave Florio of D&M Hardwood Floors?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Dave's got a crazy story. He'd be great for this.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to steal his thunder.
Yeah.
But I think his story would resonate with you and your followers, like, heavily. But we're having this conversation. People are like, well, Dave, how'd you do it? He's like, just do it. He's like Nike. You just show up and you execute and you figure it out along the way. You have a level of humility and accountability. Just figure it out. No secret sauce.
And I love, my favorite thing is that me and you were able to sit down and have this conversation.
Yes.
Because people think, and the world has become so polarized and divisive that you almost you're like forced to be competitors and like enemies with people, when I think it should be the opposite. So I think one of the benefits of the whole rent control, landlord decapitation at the State House was that
the word choice.
it united us.
Dude, that's the biggest thing. Because
We
now
formed a bond.
Absolutely.
And got clean and got it efficient, and now the Rhode Island Coalition of Housing Providers has brought all these different walks of life, businesses, companies, mom and pops, vendors, lawyers, to one space that now we actively have one voice instead of 1,000 little ones.
Which is the most powerful thing.
So that's how I would say you and I and Stonelink got together, and Shannon Weinstein at Rent Prov, and Greg Weiss, not Rice, at J&W Apartments. It brought all of us together, and I think it did the opposite of what those folks at the State House were intending.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the coolest thing that it's come together over the last couple of years. Obviously, we don't want to spend the amount of time in the State House that we have been, or at least I don't. Rather focus on business and bringing more things to the community, whether it be rehabbing houses or making sure multifamilies run efficiently or quality housing for families.
Yep.
But we've got to go to the State House together and
Yes.
work together against this force that is actually, I go back to the old Polish proverb. Are you familiar with the Polish proverb about the axe?
No, but I'm Polish.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. So Polish proverb, essentially, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try my best. It talks about how the trees in the forest kept voting for the axe because the axe had a wood handle. So the trees thought the axe was like them until they were no more. So the axe kept cutting them down and they didn't know, but they thought that and that's how I feel about these constituents and these different municipalities are like, yes, rent control is good. And I'm like, no, actually it's going to make the housing a lot worse. And I mean, we've got clients in Providence that have already started selling buildings and buying in other towns and other states because of rent control coming down the pike. Just because the city council is pushing it at such a high level. So, I mean, where we're sitting, we can make money either way, right? More people are going to need us if this goes through in order to protect them.
True.
Or, in my shoes, if they don't like it, well, I'm going to help them sell one building and buy another.
That's right.
Which, selfishly, that's about $30K round trip on any multifamily.
Easy.
So, like, we're going to make more money, but I don't think, to me, that's not the best approach. I'm not going to turn down making the money.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, these are great housing providers that actually have gotten their lead certs and take care of their properties. And they're already fleeing from the city of Providence based on what they're trying to push through.
Same in New York.
Yeah.
New York, I think, whatever happens in 2026 with David Morales,
Yes.
if Brett stays in, we're okay. If David gets in, we're not okay. It's almost like a mini Mom Donnie.
That's the scariest part. Because I heard somebody, or I read on Facebook, I know that Facebook is not the news and not always factual, but the truth is, the long-term impacts of Mamdani's approach are not going to be known for 3 to 5 years. So what's going to happen is you're going to have this popularization of his ideas of,
Yes.
he was voted in New York, we should vote him in Rhode Island or vote the next person, wherever, name the state.
Yeah.
And we're not going to know until it's too late.
Correct.
I mean, we know.
Right.
We understand I'm awful in economics. I'm pretty good at math and understanding these things. But these folks aren't seeing the forest through the trees here.
That's right.
And it's going to be incredibly detrimental to all Rhode Islanders. Like, this is going to impact a lot of people negatively because they're being sold down the river here.
What would you say? I always see, and it's funny, I see who watches the videos and who clicks, right? So I would say on an average video that I send out, maybe 20 to 30 legislators watch it.
Really?
Or click it. And we know that there's, I think, 116 between House and Senate in total.
Did you put all the legislators on your email list?
Oh, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's really good.
Well, they need to know this.
I like it.
So
I love it.
Roughly 20% of them click it. So what would be your message to them?
I would say just do more research, right? There's the legislation that you guys are working to push through, and I say you guys collectively, but the legislation that our state legislature is trying to push through has already been tried somewhere else. So take the time and just complete more due diligence. And I know that most of these legislators, they have staff, right? So have your staff pull something together, or even use ChatGPT.
Which is phenomenal.
Right, and I know that there are a ton of bills that get pushed through every single session, but this is going to have the most, I would say, most dramatic and material impact on their local constituents. If you change the housing scenario, that has the most immediate impact.
Yes.
Versus some of these other things that may take time to implement before we can actually see.
Yep.
But I think, truthfully, complete more due diligence and think about the primary, secondary, and tertiary outcomes of what's actually going to happen.
That's right.
Because it's not always the first thing that's going to happen, but what are the downstream consequences or downstream impacts of what can be caused based on the decision today?
That's right.
And just having that, it's being more future oriented. Because I talk to my son about this all the time. I'm like, wherever we go, we need to make sure that we leave this place better than how we found it.
That's right.
And that, as a politician, I feel like that should be at the core of what you do. You are truly a public servant. How do you make sure when you leave office, your constituents and the state are better than when you came into office?
Jim for Gov has a ring to it.
No. No. I appreciate that.
Simple, too. JIMGOV.
Jim.gov.
Jim.gov.
I don't know if
But Lyon wouldn't be good for a politician.
No.
Lion Jim.
I don't know if I have the patience, truthfully. Honestly, I've been impressed. It's impressive, like, when you show up and you speak, there's always some depth to it.
Yeah.
And there was one time that you shared a story. I know that you help inmates. I think it's locally at the ACI.
Yeah.
And like, that was so powerful. You shared a story related to how you were helping them, and you related it back to whatever was on the docket that day.
Yeah.
And these are the real world stories that matter.
Correct.
These are the real world stories that are going to help legislators gain that perspective.
That's right.
To decide, okay, is this helpful? Is it not? Not only complete the due diligence, but listen to the real stories.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been incredibly eye-opening, the stories that, I would say not the major housing providers. I love when you speak, and honestly, when Andy Cotton speaks, it's always.
I like when Rose speaks, actually. You know Rose?
Yes.
She sits down, she's like, well, how are you? And then she just, shing, shing.
But I can remember, like, the first year, this was probably like 3 years ago, there were some female operators. Like, there was one woman who had a really heartfelt story about why it was important to her to be able to run a criminal background check on her prospective renters.
Yep.
Where she had a resident that had threatened her life and threatened the lives of her children. And the reason why she had bought the multifamily was because the children's father just up and left, and the multifamily was literally next door to her parents' house. So it gives her the financial ability to take care of her children. And then also when she needs help with the children, she's next door to her parents. And she was explaining, this allows me to still go to work and help gain a life for me and my children when I was in a kind of stinky scenario of like their dad leaving, but this helped me essentially achieve their version of the American dream. And she's like, I just want to make sure that my children are protected. And it's stories like that. Like, we can sit here and we can share the stories of what we know, but when it's that mom and pop operator, like actually sharing these real life examples of she had a resident that literally threatened her where she was awarded a restraining order, like, these are very serious outcomes.
100%.
All because legislators want the headline of like, you're not allowed to run, or we can even talk about the application fee scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Where we had a band together on that as well.
We're almost done with that. We've resolved it.
Interesting. So
with the AG's office.
They left us alone.
Oh.
Fortunately.
They're not leaving you alone. They're coming.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's like, I don't want to give that any energy, because it's just so
Isn't it?
It's
Isn't
just-
it wild?
It's just like, what are we
It's
doing?
wild.
What are we doing?
Right. Right.
But it's all, I think you say headlines, the AG's office and the AG, to me, has become almost like a quasi-political agency in where Peter is not a fan of Dan, and he almost wants these specific headlines to come out to kind of make him look bad, make Dan look bad.
Of course.
And it's interesting to see, the governor and the attorney general at odds publicly. Like usually you would see a unified front with governmental officials, especially at the highest level.
hope.
You would hope. So that's been interesting, and I think the application fee thing with us is their way to say, we stood up to the big property manager, and it's just like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
But you know what's crazy? So when all this came down, they literally picked the top 3 companies that rank on Google.
Yeah. It's actually a
Lion,
compliment.
Stoma, and Nexus.
It's
Because
a
we all
compliment.
talked to Michael Crane. I was like, Michael Crane, how did we wind up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had my VA go through, and she went through the first 5 pages of Google, and she went to every property management company, and she reached, if it wasn't readily available on their website, she reached out to every company to see what they charge for an application fee. Yeah. We relay the cost of a screening fee.
Yes.
Literally, we just relay the cost. These other managers were on the same platform that we're on, which I know my cost is $22.
Yeah.
All these other managers were $50+.
Yeah, they're charging more than us.
So I'm literally relaying the cost, which I'm allowed to do. These other managers are charging well above because they're on the same. They're on AppFolio. I know you guys are on Propertyware.
Propertyware.
So I know on AppFolio it's $20.
Yeah.
So this is just a witch hunt.
It is, and it's almost like you're on the highway speeding, and you get pulled over, and you're like, "But everybody else was speeding."
Right.
But they're like, "No, but today's your day," and that's how I feel.
Because people know our brands the most.
They saw us coming down the highway.
Right, we're going to pin you to the cross.
Pull them
because
over.
People know about you guys the most. These other guys, they're charging double, but don't worry about those guys because people don't know about them.
Correct. But if they didn't come yet, they're coming. I feel like social issues are paramount to everything else as far as government and politics goes. When I grew up and when you grew up, things were more fact-based and data-driven. So I remember in school, we'd have to citing your sources.
Oh, yeah, all the
and
time.
like footnotes and like...
Trying to think of what they called that. I was awful in English.
Whatever that was.
But if you didn't have a citation page off of a paper,
you could fail.
You're not going to get a passing grade.
So that's how I grew up, was like, what's the data, what's the information, and then,
I can remember literally going to the library and like opening up encyclopedias.
Yes.
Or like going in the library and like pulling a book.
Yes.
Not today.
But now...
ChatGPT, we're good to go.
Well, chat's great. But now it's like you show up to the State House with facts and data and firsthand accounts.
Yeah, but you know what's awful? And we've seen this. There are tenant organizations where they literally pull people off the street. They're told to wear a certain color t-shirt. They're handed ChatGPT summaries to read. And then after they get in front of the state legislatures, they're handed a gift card. Thank you for showing up.
Yes.
They're literally paid actors.
Yes. Yes.
And that's literally what we're up against.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk about that out loud.
No. But it's just people today operate more with emotion than ever before. Mm-hmm. Everything is sensational, everything is salacious, and everything is about, oh my God, like when the whole Kyle Saba thing, which I did interview Kyle, by the way, and we can't release the interview. It's under review. But what I saw happen to him was the epitome of how terrible society has become as far as couth and ethics and just courtesy. We're ready to just shoot first and ask questions later. Yep. And say what you want about Kyle, but he's been around for almost 15 years. And the guy pushes out.
He works
like an animal.
Relentlessly.
So you have to look at the volume and the numbers and the consistency.
Right.
regardless of whether you like him or you don't like him or you think he uses self tanner or whatever,
Oh, jeez, there we go.
which I tan, so no problem. But I love Kyle, and when I saw the bashing, and it was bashing by fellow real estate agents, which are supposed to have a code of ethics, and I'm perfect, and look at my family, and we're picking pumpkins, and the whole thing. They're bashing them. Loan officers are bashing them. Insurance agents are bashing them.
Why is that?
And it's like, guys, we all are in the same sandbox.
It's such a scarcity mindset, though.
It's right. Maybe they want
Honestly,
him like gone or whatever.
Greg,
But
if you're doing something great, and I'm like, man, I want to achieve like what Greg has, I'd reach out and be like, hey, how are you doing that?
right,
Not being like,
fucking
right.
Yeah,
That's, you got to wake up and have that abundance mindset. Like with Kyle, I've sat down, I'm like, well, how'd you do that? Right? Fortunately, I'm in a mastermind with him.
Oh,
so
cool.
like I can ask him questions. But I've done multiple transactions with him. He's always done me solid.
that's right.
But also like the volume of transactions if you have one angry person. I mean,
That's right. It's
really
like
speak
it's like
on
a
this, but-
tenant.
right.
Lyon never fixes anything. They're worse, and it's like, it's I get one of those every day.
Yep.
But the 1,000 things you get right, nobody talks about it.
It's wild. Somebody didn't like how one of our trucks was driving on the road and our technician had a legitimate medical emergency. And rather than calling, they left us a 1-star review.
I hate the 1-star reviews. Actually, I hate 2-star reviews even more because it's like you're shitty, but not that shitty. It's like, oh,
I feel like we operate the top property management companies in Rhode Island in terms of reviews.
Yep.
But in terms of like where it is, we're actually tied now. I've dropped from 4.7 to 4.6.
Oh.
Because of last week.
oh.
I don't know who's coming at us, but we've got
Welcome to the
got
club.
3 of the last 5 were like, one was a job interview. And we went through all of and it was clearly written in ChatGPT because ChatGPT uses hyphens. It went through our entire database. We don't have this name anywhere in our database. So that's what we do is we go back and we're going to track and
Were you a tenant?
if
Were
we
you
made a
an owner?
mistake because we're human, we want to get it right, and we'll say, hey, listen, reach out to our team. We're going to make it right for you. But when we go into the database, we can't even find these people. That's what it's like. But
Fake
again,
news, yeah.
because we've worked hard for a very long period of time, the culture has shifted rather than folks having an abundance mindset to say, hey, how can I do that? How can
Yes.
I mirror their actions?
Yes.
Let's attack the successful people
Yes.
versus how do we achieve our version of the American dream? Maybe we can leverage something that they figured out. I think the culture has just shifted in that way, unfortunately.
Yes.
And it's our job because, respectfully, any politician, it's not who we vote into office the next time. It's how do we show up every single day,
That's right.
right? So like outside of my office, we have our core values on the wall. How do we show up? If we live in alignment of our core values, we're leading by example. And then how do we attract more people to come and follow us, right? Not even follow us, but continue to reflect that example and live by it. So respectfully, I don't think it matters who gets into office, but how do we live every day? Because truthfully, we need a cultural revolution. And that's what's
That's
going to
right.
change things.
100%.
And it's the people in the community every single day taking those actions. And honestly, that's why when you reached out about the community service up in Woonsocket at that cemetery,
Thank you for helping, by the way.
absolutely. I was honored to have the opportunity, but that's where I've gotten to, I am incredibly thankful for. And it's those little opportunities that give back that are super important to me now.
Yes.
And plus, I got to use a leaf blower for a little bit.
It's fun. I love the leaf blower.
Yeah, dude.
It's just like, I don't know, something about that. I want to figure out if there's a way to have two
Strapped up.
yeah. Like Arnold, remember Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger in the fucking, I'm here
Maybe
to
if you
blow
step into
you.
one and put it on the other side.
But yeah, Jim came. I had organized a cemetery cleanup at the Oak Hill Cemetery in Woonsocket, which is privately run, but it's a historical cemetery in Rhode Island. And the woman that owns it is just over her head in the upkeep. It's just way too much.
And honestly, the headstones in there are some of the most ornate and beautiful headstones
Yes.
I've ever seen.
Yes.
I know that might sound a little weird talking about tombstones in a cemetery.
Yeah.
But these are like beautiful works of art.
100%.
They were really, really nice.
And those nice tall monuments,
Yeah.
15 feet tall, and it's just like they're covered up with trees. So I organized this day, and Jim came, and Kyle actually sent his landscape crew.
Oh, good stuff.
Emilio showed up, Don Martone showed up, right? The former mayor showed up, and all these people came, and it's like you can't buy that feeling. Like when I went home after that, I was tired, I was hungry, but I was like, wow, I feel so
Yep.
fulfilled. And I'm not a religious guy, so I don't get that fulfillment from religion. and I don't get it from business. Business is its own type of fulfillment.
For sure.
But that fulfillment of helping without getting paid actually cost me. It cost me thousands of dollars to do
Oh
that.
yeah, I saw all the equipment that you guys had. That's
So-
not free.
And but leaving with that, and I think that's what people want is that type of feeling these days. They don't know that they want it, I think, but when you leave there, it's like,
Well, I think that we've gotten away. Like people sometimes say like you're old school, but truthfully, what they mean is time-honored values, and I feel like
Yes.
that's what we've stepped away from.
yes,
The time-honored values of what makes America America in terms
right.
of what
that's right.
our ancestors, or I would say the older generations, did to get us here.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like we're just shifting to more worldly values versus the time-honored values that
Yes.
made America America.
That's right. Globalism.
That's it. Do you have enough, I don't know if we have enough time. I want to get into all the all that
Oh, we have
stuff.
all time. Let's tie this into business then. How could we take time-honored values and inject it into real estate? What are some things that you see that you're just like, I don't like this. People should be doing more of this. Like, what do you see as kind of a vulnerability or a soft underbelly of the way that people operate in 2025?
I think that in real estate, a lot of people have a +1 transaction mentality, right? They want that +1 transaction, whether it be +1 another resident or a tenant. When I say +1, let's call them a tenant. +1 transaction as a realtor. If you can show up and actually treat people right and have a good level of client service and provide a quality product versus just trying to push them down along the assembly line, like actually showing up and having empathy. So like when a resident reaches out and they're like, hey, this isn't working. Hey, that sounds pretty frustrating. We're sorry it's not working. We're to work to get somebody out there quickly. By the way, here are the next 3 steps. Versus like maintenance order received.
Right.
Right. So how do you increase that level of client care and client service? Because we know that if we treat our residents right on the maintenance side, they're going to stay. They're going to re-up for another year. Versus if we don't take care of them on the maintenance side, you're going to have higher turnover.
That's right.
Right. So I go back to like, how would you want to be treated? Right. And treat them with a level of fairness and accountability. Now, if they're legitimately in there breaking things, then there's going to be a level of accountability there. Right. Or if they're not paying the rent, well, we both sign a contract and I'm still paying my bills and still providing you the service that I agreed to. So we have to hold you accountable. But I would say most people, I feel like they try to dehumanize anything that we're doing in business. Right. Versus add that human aspect back. Like a lot of people are going like super AI.
Virtual assistants a lot. Too.
Virtual assistants or crazy AI. And honestly, like we tried to roll out the AI on the maintenance side. It was awful.
Oh,
We shut it down after 2 months. It just wasn't working.
gotcha.
But also it's cold. It's not like a real human. But if we can keep the jobs here and we can keep providing that human element, I think that's where we can change the culture. And that's like kind of that Main Street business ideology as well.
Yeah.
Rather than sending, over the next 5 years, so by 2030, the estimate is that there's going to be $25 trillion in small businesses that either shut down completely or trade hands, whether it be sold to private equity or someone on Main Street. So what my goal is, and my North Star is, I'm looking to buy those businesses transparently. And I'm not trying to sell on this podcast by any means, but how do we keep those businesses on Main Street providing quality jobs for local families versus sending the business to Wall Street because they can probably still get the same amount of money. Normally private equity looks at businesses valued at $5 million or more. So it's a good opportunity for local operators to come in and purchase these businesses.
Yep.
And by the way, it's just a conversation like this.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you thinking about doing to retire? I was on the phone with a gentleman earlier today. He's like, I really want to retire from my flooring business someday. He's like, can you help me figure out what it's valued at? Yeah, absolutely. I can help you with that.
Oh, wow. So you're into business acquisition too?
That's where we're getting into now. That's where I'm shifting my game plan. But it means a lot to me to be able to provide these opportunities for local families. And not just like I was on the phone with a client today, and what we have during December is we call it family dinner. So we don't call it a Christmas party, we call it family dinner. And we invite our entire team and their spouses. They get a +1. He's
+1 mentality, Jim.
like, there it is. Nice tie-in. That was quick. But he's like, you know what? That's really lost on a lot of companies because they're so cost focused of like only you can come. You can't bring a spouse. But honestly, it's really meaningful to get the entire family involved.
Well, we do a +2.
Oh, +2.
Yeah, so the guy gets to bring his wife and his girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Good
kidding.
stuff.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. But even like we have a Lyon grill and chill every year. We invite in all of our clients, all of our vendors, and just anybody who supports the brand. Where we had the Griddle Me This food truck this year. They were really good. They have these smash burgers. They're excellent.
Here?
Yep, here. And then we bring in a DJ.
Oh,
And then
wow.
we've got a whole bunch of yard games. We had a bouncy house this year. We've had Dell's Lemonade. And it's just a good opportunity for everybody to get together. And then we have custom T-shirts. So we actually, you like this. I know that you're into rock music.
Yeah.
We had a Metallica T-shirt this year.
Awesome.
So it said Lion Gang. But the most famous one was like an AC/DC style T-shirt.
Yeah.
That like anytime I wear it, people are like, I didn't know you were an AC/DC fan. And I'm like, no, this is my company. And they're like, oh, wait. So we try to like model it after some rock band T-shirt.
Yeah.
So that's like the major draw to the Girl Show. We'll have 50 T-shirts every time. So the first 50, you get a T-shirt. And then after that, you just got to figure out.
Yeah, you should have got here sooner.
Right. But those community-based events to bring everybody together, that's what it's all about.
That is. Interesting. Grill and chill. I don't know if I would want all our clients together. They would say, how much did they charge you for that? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think, we used to have more people coming into our office, and now it's like, I remember when I started, owners would come in, and it was like, usually like a multiple phase interview. Like they would interview, all right, we're going to talk about it, we'll come back. They would come back to the office again, and hopefully you would sign up at that point. Now, I can't recall the last owner that wanted or requested to meet in the office.
I'm thinking about the same thing.
They call, we do a conversation, and they sign up online, and a lot of these owners, I never even meet them. But it used to be, they
so
couldn't.
funny you said that. So my son plays baseball, and one of his baseball buddies was having a birthday party, and this giant, like taller than you and like a little bit broader, he walks over. He's like, Jimmy, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man?
I'm your biggest client.
He's like, it's John. I'm one of your clients. We've worked with this guy for 4 years. I didn't know what he looked like because like it's emails and phone calls. Like
but he knows you.
Yeah, my face is in my email signature, right? So that's where he knew. But like, isn't it crazy that we reached that level in business where like some of it's face to face. Like we've worked for this client for 4 years. I had no idea. He's like, oh, I'm best friends with so and so's dad, which was the kid who was having the birthday party. I'm like, no way.
Wow.
But it's interesting.
It is.
Because I agree. It used to be way more face to face.
Yes.
And what we try to do with our property managers is we try to have them sit down with 5 clients on a quarterly basis to just grab lunch or breakfast or whatever it may be, a cup of coffee.
Keep that camaraderie.
Right. To have that belly to belly conversation where real people want to take care of you and work it that way. And that goes back to the time honored value piece.
Yes.
Not just a phone call and a conversation.
Yeah.
And then one of the other big things of like, well, how do you make it more time honored values? Don't just reach out to your client when something's wrong. Or you're working through something. A lot of times, and I picked up on this early, if I'm driving through a neighborhood and I know a client owns a house around the corner and I'm like, I haven't called them in a couple weeks. I'll call the client and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, how are the kids? Or whatever they're into, we'll have a conversation about it. Because if you're only calling the client when you need something or something's going wrong, it doesn't set the... It
doesn't taste right. Yeah.
Right. Doesn't set the relationship up for success. So if you can filter in some of those warm handshakes that aren't strictly business, I think that helps no matter what business you're in.
That's true. Because then when the client sees your name pop up, it's not like, oh, he's asking me for more money or whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh, Jim's calling. What am I going to get today?
Right. Yeah. And then these guys are funny. I don't know if I should share this, but I will. So normally when I call a client, I always hit them with a buffer first. So I had Chris in here one day. So there's this woman that I work for, and she is so nice, super super nice, and I know that she loves watching her grandson play Little League. So I'm like, hey, I was like, how's the summer going? Is Georgie still playing Little League down in Pennsylvania? She's like, oh my God, I was just down there. I was like, hey, by the way, we stopped by the property, we saw this, and this. We figured that you'd probably want us to take care of those. This is the cost. Can I just get their approval over the phone so we can handle it? And it makes that so much easier. Yeah. Because I hit them with the buffer first. Yes. But I told the sandwich. Team, I'm like, watch this. I'm going to be off the phone in less than 5 minutes and get this approval. And by the way, I'm going to leave them feeling good because they know we're taking care of them. Yes. And we care about what they care about. Yes. Perfect. And it's little tactics like that. Yes. And by the way, how do we figure this out? Tying back into like what we've been talking about the whole time. Failing at it. That's right. That's not doing it. Right. I don't read. I got a bunch of books behind me, but all of the action is what is going to prove your path. Right. Figure out where you should head and learning from the mistakes. But also, going 10 years now,
a lot of our clients don't even question our quotes, our bills, our stuff we do without approval, like stuff that we approve on our own. We rarely get blowback. We used to get it all the time.
Well, because you
why
built
is
the
it
trust.
this and why is it that? Now they just, even new clients, they just like, and we maintenance is how you lose clients. You know that.
Yes.
So we're very cautious about what we charge, and a lot of times I'll peel off stuff before it even gets to the customer, just because I know this is not gonna, even though we're right or whatever, I'll just I'm just gonna grab 10% off of this to just avoid the confrontation.
Right.
So people aren't even like complaining anymore. They used to bitch about everything, about $50. Now we're sending out $20,000 turnover jobs, and oh yes, do you need a deposit? And it's like, it's crazy how you just kind of
Well, you earn that respect, and now
that.
they trust. They're like, okay, well, I know that they treated me right, and they've explained it on this level so many times. Now I trust them.
That's right.
That when they send this across to me, I know that it has to be done in order to set the property up for success.
Amen.
That doesn't happen like that.
No,
No.
it takes a decade.
Truth.
But last thing, final thoughts for the audience. What is your message? What does Jim from Lyon, Lyon, want to say to the world?
I would say pursue what you believe in. Right? There's some. I know you said you're not a big religious guy. I am, but there is some God-given talent that you have innately, and it's your job, if you're given another day, to wake up, to find out what that is and bring that gift to the world. And it's not going to be a perfect art as you start to uncover it. It's probably going to take you a decade to figure it out. But as long as you're given another day to breathe and walk on this earth, figure out what that is, because the world's waiting for you to bring your gift to the world.
Pretty good fucking answer.
On my toes today.
That's very good. Most people aren't pursuing most people are like in this doom loop of just, I don't know, it's like,
don't play the victim.
Sedation, and like, I'm just going through the motions, and I'm watching the football game on Sundays, and I go to my 9 to 5, I place my
Bread and
bets.
circuses.
Yeah, just, I don't see people really sticking their necks out anymore.
And by the way, there is no easier time in the history of the world to be an entrepreneur.
100%.
All the
so much money
information-
on the ground.
But all the information is literally in your fingertips on
That's right.
on your phone. It's a
That's a good
supercomputer. Think about how easy it is. YouTube, podcasts,
Yeah.
but anything. Truthfully anything, particularly with AI.
Right.
So if there's something you're passionate about, chase it. If you have a 9 to 5, chase it 6 to 11. Like, that's how I started Lyon, honestly. Like, I had a full-time job the first 3 years.
Yeah.
And I built it nights and weekends until finally I got to a point. And honestly, I took an 80% pay cut to come out and work at Lyon full-time.
Now you're on an 800%.
Now I'm there. Yeah, now I'm in a better spot.
Yeah.
But take the leap of faith, because it's better to die knowing that you tried than the sense of regret of like, I wish I had done that. And I know that's so cliche, but it's totally true.
Well, you're kind of motivating here, because there's this girl that I see at the gym, and I kind of want to chase her now.
She's gonna ask the question.
She said oh, you should follow me on Instagram, and I was like, I actually want to follow you in real life. No,
That's a good response. No, that's a good response, though. That's a good response.
Whatever. So yeah, and if it doesn't even have to be professional, like personal things, like you wanna meet somebody, right? Like, I'm a single guy. Mm-hmm. You want to go meet somebody that you've been, you want to start a relationship. You want to run for office. You want to have a child. Like, pursue whatever that is.
I've got a hack for that. I say this to my team all the time. Even in the seat that I'm in today, if there's somebody that I want to learn from, I will text them or DM them, and I will ask them, can I buy an hour of your time? I want to learn ABC from you. Are you willing to meet? Just let me know what it costs. And honestly, most of the time, people respect that.
I know some girls that do that.
But people are going to respect that versus being like, can I pick your brain?
Sure.
I'm like, sure, let me pick your wallet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
But I think if you approach it that way,
yes.
Hey, I know that you're really good at A, B, and C. Can I buy an hour of your time to learn about that from you?
Yes.
It's like, this isn't a brick. This is
a weapon.
Right. Truthfully. You're just going to figure out how to use it.
That's right.
Right? Whether it's picking up the phone and calling or sending a message. But this tool is going to help you achieve your dreams.
100%.
Truthfully.
And don't be afraid of rejection. I love rejection.
No just means needs more information.
No, it's just like, all right, I gotta find another route. It's like a road closure with the construction. I'm gonna take Jefferson instead of what, like,
Yep.
that's all no is. I love no.
100%.
No is like, and people today are like, oh my God, no.
It's like crippling.
It's like crippling. To me, it's like, oh yeah.
It's like,
no.
all right, I got out there, but like,
No.
I grew up playing a ton of baseball, and honestly, you'd think the most successful baseball players, they hit 300.
Right.
So they fail 7 out of 10 times. They fail twice as much as they're actually successful.
Right.
And such is life. You're going to fail so much, but it's those wins that are really going to carry
That's
you.
it.
But you got to get in the batter's box and take a swing.
That's it. Get on the field. There's so many audience members and spectators of life.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are on the field like you and I, throwing the ball, catching the ball, getting hit, dropping the ball?
Dude, we're here. We might as well show up and play.
That's right. Yeah. Good.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Good
This
stuff.
is very good. And if people, this is interesting because, you know, I usually say if people are interested, how do they get in touch with you? But now we have, listen, we have Lyon Property Group and Nexus Property Management. You get to pick.
Good stuff.
What do you want? And the truth is you can't go wrong with either of us.
Facts.
But at this point, I think that truthfully, you're offering more services than we are. We're very niche compared to what you're doing. We're not getting into selling. We're not getting into buying so much. We used to help investors, but it's just kind of not popular. You know, it's expensive. People aren't getting into it. We're just property management. So I think it's good that you're diversifying and getting into different things. It's and there's so much room to, like, there's so much opportunity.
Oh, abundance.
It's not like
so much.
I don't look at it like you're taking and you don't look at it like I'm taking. There's different clients that like you that wouldn't like me, and vice versa.
You know what's funny? I didn't share the story with you, but remember the woman that blew you up over the American flag in your signature?
Oh yeah.
So I'm like messed up that like we ended up taking them on. They were awful. I should have realized when she blew you up over that. Not to bring that up here, but
That was
I
interesting.
was
Yeah.
like, you're upset because he has an American flag. And by the way, your response to her was like spot on. I thought it was a well curated response and it was respectful.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here? It's wild.
But to each their own. Like Nexus runs a solid operations. You guys have been in business for over a decade.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. Can't go
And
wrong
where else
with
do you
either.
see two guys in the same business being friendly? I think that says a lot about us. So no matter what you do, no matter who you select, you're in great hands. And, you know, I appreciate and value camaraderie and friendship more than I value money and status and +1. I hate numbers. I hate spreadsheets. I look at my bank account to make sure it doesn't have negative, and then I shut it. Like I don't want to know. Like I just know I have enough, and that's it. And I've always been that way. I'm not motivated by that kind of stuff. I like the adventure and the journey, so more than the destination.
And that's what's led to your success, no doubt. No doubt.
So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next rent control hearing.
Nice, dude. Good stuff.